Welcome to the Raw Spotlight podcast, where we feature inspiring leaders in the B2B space and share their unique stories. Let's get started with the show.
Hello, everybody. I'm Victor Huyn, your host of the Raw Spotlight, where we feature leaders from the B2B business, niche markets, large-scale brands, local businesses, and public sector entities to share their innovative strategies and inspiring success stories. Past guests include Josh McIntyre from McIntyre Kingstone Property Management and the Honorable Mr. Andrew Cho from the City of Diamond Bar, who is also the co-founder of Wealthify Partners. Today's episode is brought to you by Ready Artwork, where we deliver uniquely tailored B2B digital marketing services to facilitate the long-term growth of businesses. At Ready Artwork, we combine data-driven insights with innovative design to help your business thrive in the digital age. From SEO and digital advertising to web development and email marketing, we have experts who help companies uncover their growth potential. To learn more, visit readyartwork.com. Welcome to today's episode. Our guest today is Jacky Dilfer. She is a commercial and SBA lending expert. Jacky is a dedicated leader and trusted advisor, helping her clients grow their businesses, create job opportunities, and better serve their communities. Her vast experience in commercial lending extends 2 decades in San Francisco Bay Area and Southern California, where she led Business Finance Capital, BFC, their rapid growth as the organization's executive director for more than 12 years. Through Jacky's hard work, BFC has consistently ranked among top national institutions in the SBA loan volume. BFC has funded more than 1,000 commercial real estate transactions for small and medium-sized businesses since 2012. In just the last decade, more than $5 billion in commercial and SBA loans were processed, cementing her position in the lending community as the go-to business consultant, strategist, and advisor. BFC has been ranked number 1 SBA 504 lender in Los Angeles County by dollar volume for several years and is consistently among the top 5 SBA lenders in California and nationally. In addition to Jacky's strong commercial lending acumen, her commitment to client satisfaction is second to none. This is reflected in the entire BFC team's ability to uphold the high standards and compliance with credit and SBA loan regulations. Jacky, a San Jose State graduate and longtime California resident, supports her community through various roles. She serves on the board of trustees for Altamed Healthcare Services, which provides vital healthcare to underserved communities, and on the loan committee for the Jewish Free Loan Association, a non-secular organization offering interest-free loans. She is also a board member for the C5 Youth Foundation of Southern California, which empowers teens to overcome barriers and build successful careers. Jacky is passionate about education and enjoys sharing to help employees, clients, and colleagues achieve business success. Wow, welcome to the show, Jacky.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so we're just going to jump right into questions, and the audience will kind of enjoy learning more about you over this next hour. So, question number 1, Jacky, can you share what inspired you to pursue a career in commercial and SBA lending and how your journey began?
Sure. Well, when I graduated from San Jose State in 2002, throughout my college life, I had always aspired to work in the tech industry because I grew up in the Silicon Valley. Unfortunately, in 2002, when I graduated, there was what was called the dot-com bomb, and there was a recession in the Silicon Valley, and no one was hiring. And at that time, interest rates had dropped to around 4%. And my dad suggested that I try and work for a bank. And I wasn't interested, but he said, well, if you go and work for a bank, you'll learn about many different kinds of businesses, and you'll learn about people, and from there you can figure out what you want to do. And I got my first job at a Korean community bank as a loan officer, and that's how I started in this industry.
Wow, very cool. So let's talk about BFC. So BFC achieved a remarkable success under your leadership. And what we just heard, processing over $5 billion in loans. What strategies or philosophies have been key to driving this kind of growth?
Well, I have to give credit to my team. Every single one of us, and we have a team now of 35, has a commitment to the business community and the small business and medium-sized businesses owners that we serve. We understand that they have dire needs to grow and expand their businesses, and we act as an advocate for them, and we fight so that they can purchase property for their operations and really build a stable place where they can grow and be successful, create jobs in the community, and improve their families.
Cool. What do you think makes SBA 504 loans such a powerful tool for small and medium-sized businesses? Can you share an example of their impact?
Absolutely. There really is no real estate lending product like the 504 loan. So, for example, on a $10 million, let's use $1 million to simplify this a bit, but on a $1 million building purchase, it benefits all parties involved because the business owner is only required to put 10% down on the purchase, which is unheard of in the lending arena. And the bank that we partner with finances 50% of the project, or $500,000, and they take a first trust deed lien position on the property. And then our firm, which is the actual SBA portion of the loan, finances the 40% piece, and we take a second position lien on the property, so $400,000. And it's a win-win for all because the borrower saves a ton of cash to be used for their business or other investments. And for us, our loan is 100% guaranteed by the government. And for the bank piece of the loan, they're at a 50% loan to value, which means the risk is minimized tremendously. So it's a great product also because the interest rate is always below market. The government ensures that the banks keep their loan terms favorable for the business, and there are regulations that the banks have to adhere to participate with us in the program. And the SBA loan is always below market as well. So it's kind of a product that will really sell itself as long as we educate the public and people know about it. There's a lot of business owners out there that have never heard of it, and they unfortunately either can't buy a building and have to continue renting, or they might have to put 30, 40, 50% down, which really depletes their capital needed for business growth.
So what are, for all our business owners out there, what are the basic requirements to qualify for a loan like this?
Great. So in order to qualify, we have a preliminary pre-approval process where we pre-qualify the business and the owners, and we collect a couple years of current personal and business tax returns to start, and we go from there. As long as the business has been in operation for 24 months, and as long as the business plans to occupy 51% of the subject property for its operations, and as long as the owners of the business are legal permanent residents, those are the three main factors for qualifying for the loan.
Awesome. I just wanted to share that Jacky and her team helped ready our work with our building. So I'm asking this because those are all the questions that she helped me answer, years ago when we went through this process, and it's been amazing. So I just kind of want to throw that out there.
Yeah. It's built this program. It's been wonderful, and as you mentioned earlier, we've closed so many transactions for so many businesses, and we've really seen their wealth grow and their businesses grow because of their acquisitions in real estate. It's very, very rewarding for all involved.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so let's go back to the culture, right? Maintaining a high standard and compliance is not any small feat, right? How do you foster a culture at BFC? I know you gave the team a lot of credit, but as far as what you do to impact the culture, what do you do to ensure professionalism and adherence to regulation on the team?
Yes, thank you. Well, the team understands that our funding is provided by government-backed bonds. And when you're in a situation where you're utilizing government funds to finance projects, everything has to be, I hate to use the word, but it has to be perfect. All the T's have to be crossed, the I's have to be dotted. And we're very, very selective of who we choose to join our team. And every individual on our team not only has a passion for the program and for marketing the program, but they're very, very detail oriented. They're efficient, they're fast, and they provide excellent customer service.
Awesome. That's a really hard piece for anyone that's hired people, right? Finding the right people, right? That's the biggest challenge. Awesome. Good job on that. So the small businesses, right? Small business owners often face hurdles when seeking finance. Like what you mentioned earlier, they're paying either a huge amount or they just kind of pass up on the opportunity. What are the most common challenges, and how do you help them overcome this, or maybe give them some tips on how to overcome some of the challenges to getting a loan?
Yes, that's a great question, because it's really going to lead me into more mom and pop businesses that we're working on financing now, which we really didn't do much in the past. So our average deal size was anywhere on the second trust deed piece between 1 and 8 million over the last 12 years. But over the last year, we've really been trying to help startup businesses and mom and pops who have been rejected from all banks. Mm-hmm. And yes, they're going to pay a bit of a premium, but it gives them the funds they need to launch their idea. And we can now provide loans of up to $500,000 for startup businesses needing working capital, and for other needs. The main challenges, I think, for any kind of loan, whether it's commercial, SBA, or other, is the documentation process, because we need like everything and the kitchen sink in order to complete a file. But our team of experts at BFC can hold our clients through the entire process. We make it as easy as possible in terms of assisting with paperwork, working with their accountants, their attorneys, in order to get the deals done.
So I can see that, where paperwork is probably the knowing what to file, what to keep, what to report, right? And I guess the answer to that is finding a good team like BFC.
Yes. There are a lot of lenders out there, and I think everyone's aware of the 80-20 or the 90-10 rule, where 10 or 20% of teams or businesses really do a great job, where the others just kind of fall to the wayside. And I'm proud to say that our team is definitely part of the top 10-20%.
Awesome. Okay. So how was your experience living and working in both the Bay Area and Southern California? How has that shaped your approach to the business and community engagement?
It's helped so much. I grew up in Cupertino. I worked in San Francisco prior to relocating to LA. And although both Northern and Southern California are booming, robust markets in many different sectors, there are some differences as well. I would say that the culture in Southern California is diverse, but not as assimilated as the cultures in Northern California. So when I initially moved to Southern California, there were all of these pockets of LA that are segmented. Like there's Koreatown, there's San Gabriel Valley, there's the South Bay and Manhattan Beach and the Valley and Orange County. And every submarket is so different in terms of personality, the types of businesses that are there, and how you serve those markets. And I think it's the same in Northern California. But as a whole, it's just a great place to be. There are a lot of businesses that complain about how hard it is to run a business in California, but you just have so many people. In Los Angeles, we're home to one of the biggest, busiest ports in the world, and just the weather and everything we have to do here adds to strengthen the business community and the desire to be here.
Yeah, that's very true. There's nowhere else like California. I have to agree.
No. Yeah. Yeah. And I always say, if you can survive here and make a life for yourself, there's no need to really look elsewhere. Right?
All right. So from your experience, what are the most common challenges small business owners face when seeking commercial financing? Right. The well, I guess we kind of talked about that, right? Um, very very similar to the previous questions, but I guess are there any specifics that we can give tips to other than finding a good team, right? What are some of the tips that they can start doing today? Like you said, 24 months. Um, should they be collecting proper, should they be paying all their taxes? I know a lot of people try to avoid paying taxes. What are some of the tips that they need to think about to set them up to get a loan to get into property ownership?
Sure. I think first and foremost, they need to really watch their personal and business credit scores. Pay your bills on time. If anything's missed, make sure it's corrected right away. In regards to paperwork, get a really great bookkeeper. A lot of business owners, they try to do the bookkeeping themselves. They use QuickBooks. They think they can do it, but it is so worth it to hire an internal or outside bookkeeper to make sure that every month you're looking at your books, you know where you stand in terms of your revenue and profitability, and then every year having a year-end profit and loss and balance sheet so you know where you stand. And then lastly, regarding the taxes, you need a really good consultant to help you ensure that you are strategizing your tax returns correctly so that you can show that you can afford to purchase a building if that's your goal in the short or long term.
Is it similar to is there such a thing as debt to income ratio, like in terms of what are being considered when you're saying, make sure that you have enough profit to cover the mortgage or whatever it is?
Yes. So a really simplified rule of thumb that lenders have is for every dollar that you want to borrow, whether it's against real estate, or whether it's against working capital or inventory or whatever it is, the banks really want to see that you have $1.25 coming in. So they want that extra 25 cents as extra cash flow.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay. So, all right. So we also saw in your bio that, education and mentorship are clearly very important to you. So what advice would you give someone just starting out in the commercial lending industry? So for a newbie that's considering getting into the industry.
I would say be prepared to really work hard every day, all day for the rest of your career. Because things in this landscape, regulations, the markets, the economy, things are always changing. So you have to be very malleable and flexible to that. And you have to have a lot of grit. There's a lot of lenders. There's a lot of people in commercial real estate. So it's extremely competitive. And you just have to mentally prepare yourself for that if you want to be in this industry. But I do highly recommend it because it's very rewarding. You're always learning. You're always meeting new people and learning from them as well.
Very nice. And we see that you've been heavily involved in your community through organizations like AltaMed and the Jewish Free Loan Association. How do these roles complement your professional work?
So for the AltaMed Foundation, it is a phenomenal organization that provides premium medical care to underserved communities in LA and Orange County, actually. And I got involved through that organization by a dear friend and mentor of mine, Jack Klein, who's also in real estate. And I found that through being a board member, I have been able to share my experience through various youth programs that they run. And we've been able to not only financially support them, but support them through mentorship so that the youth in our communities who may not have the same support as those in communities of a higher demographic learn some of the basic skills to have a career and improve their quality of life for their generations and those to come after.
Awesome. Okay. So, and what's next for you and BFC? how do you envision the organization continue to impact businesses and community in the future?
Yes, we've really experienced great organic growth over the last 12 years. And going forward, we would love to continue to expand our program in helping smaller mom and pop size businesses so they can eventually get to a place where they can purchase real estate for their business, and possibly some other areas of expansion as well with other programs.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, small business. I think that's a great direction to take, because that's where they need the most help, especially, it aligns with what you're talking about, where BFC is really trying to help the community and help create more jobs. So I have one last question. And before I ask it, I do want to point the people to your website. And it's www.bfcfunding.com. The last question is, what is one piece of advice or insight you'd like to leave with our listeners, whether it's aspiring entrepreneurs, business owners, or again, like professionals thinking about going into lending?
This is going to sound very generic, but never give up on your dream. This is LA, and I feel like if you have a dream, this is the place where you can make it happen.
That's awesome. All right. Well, we've been talking to Jacky Dilfer, Executive Director of Business Finance Capital Funding, who's facilitated over $5 billion in SBA loans in the last decade. So Jacky's a leader in business as well as a passionate community advocate. Jacky, where can people learn more about you? LinkedIn or website?
Yeah. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm not big on social media, but LinkedIn and our website, or feel free to give me a call.
Okay, I'll leave the information in the YouTube video links. So thank you again, Jacky.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Raw Spotlight podcast. We'll see you again next time, and be sure to click subscribe to get future episodes.